Good morning to one another present here. So today my topic is about spacing boring. So what is meant by spacing boring? What are the rules we have considered for the spacing of boring? And then what following tables, some guidelines will be given for our borehole spacing. So these are the spacing we have considered for our construction techniques. Then we have to consider the number count of boreholes. So for us, depends upon the span length, the number of boreholes also differ. So for also for various soil strata, so the number of boreholes will be reduced or increased. So first, for our spacing of holes, the following some guidelines will be given for our in our table. So in our spacing, it can be increased or decreased, so depending upon the subsoil conditions. So the following table gives some general guidelines for the borehole spacing is given below. So some rules are followed for the spacing of boreholes. So the mainly that number of boreholes can be reduced depends upon the variation in our soil strata, and it also depends upon the soil conditions. It may be more or less. It may be predictable but also uniform. So what are the following tables? General guidance will be followed. So it will be given under the spacing of boreholes. So for our approximate spacing of boreholes, it may be depends upon the type of project and also the spacing. So mainly I already said that it depends upon only the spacing of boreholes. It depends upon the type of project. So the what are the type of project means, so we have taken that multi-story building, the spacing of boreholes is 10 to 30 meter. For one story industrial plants, so the spacing of boreholes is 20 to 60. For our highways, 250 to 500. So for our residential subdivision, 250 to 500. So for dams and dikes, we have taken the spacing of boreholes is 40 to 80. So these are the some tables we have given in for our spacing of boreholes approximately. Then after the spacing of boring, so we have to tell about the soil boring. So what is meant by soil boring means, so in the earliest method of soil boring, test hole will be conducted to excavate the test pit by using the pick or shovel. So in the earlier method, so for soil boring method, we have first found at the using that excavation method by using pick or shovel for excavation purpose. So these are the economic conditions we have followed in our earliest method. So for the current procedure, we have to use the power excavation equipment such as backhoe to excavate the pit, and also use hand tools to remove a block sample or shape of the site for in situ testing. So for in our current trend, we have used the power excavation equipment such as water hotel, backhoe to excavate the pit. For in our early method, we have used the pick or shovel, but now trending that power excavation equipment for using the for excavation using the pick, backhoe, then also use the hand tools to remove the block sample. So for our remove the black sample, we have used that some hand tools to shape the site for in situ testing. So then we have to find out the sample. After that, we have to shape the site. Okay, this is the best method at present for obtaining quality undisturbed samples. What is undisturbed samples? Without disturbing the soil conditions for longer period. So these are the that undisturbed soils. So disturbed soil means for one or two places or many places we have disturbed the present soil conditions. So these are the best method to present for obtaining that quality undisturbed soil samples or samples for testing other than the vertical variations. Vertical variations, we have found out the samples for soil conditions taken from that like orientation that other than vertical orientation. So these are the definitions of soil boring. before in that we have seen about spacing of boring. Then now we have seen about that soil boring. The next one is, these are the pictures, soil boring. So in soil boring, in this picture we have seen about that clay and borehole depth and also borehole dia. So these are the drill rig. So these, in that area we have by using excavate, that using hand tools, and pit by using that shovel. We have holes into that up to the depth of foundation, and depth of foundation is 10 to 30 meter and dia is 75 mm. So these are the borehole we have used that. And back who, the trial pit means that we have used 1 to 2 meter width and 2 to 4 meter depth. So these are the pictures we have seen. So now we have what are the tools by using for boring techniques. So under boring techniques we have used many more that auger, the types of auger. First one is hand tool. Like already we have seen that hand tools. What are the hand tools? Hand tools, what are the hand tools we have used in the soil boring means that first one is post hole auger and second one is helical auger. First one is post hole auger, then helical auger. These are the helically, spirally given with sharp blade. Then in post hole auger, and at the end of the tools, so that is sharp edges, that for excavate that depth of foundation by using the hand tools. So by using auger, but these are the pictures you have seen about auger boring. These are the helical auger. In this picture the helical auger will be given, and these are the power drills. So in boring tools, so these are the pictures. The component parts will be given. The component parts may be in the left hand side, it will be given for drill rod, and right hand side it will be the given for casing. And for casing, why we are giving for casing means for to protect the outer side, so we are giving that casing for mainly the casing will be given for production in outside. So then these are the pressure water and tub, that in case that in below that chopping pit it will be given, and driving shoe and water jet at high velocity. So if you apply for water jet at high velocity, then it will move from lower to upper side. By using that higher velocity, the pressure will be given so under the water, so the water will be going to that lower to upper level by using the drilling rod and that casing, that then going to upper level, and finally it will be saved into the tub. So these are the derrick and rope means it will, the derrick and roll means that rolling the pot into down and upper. So down and upper we are using that rolling part, move one to from low to upper. So these are the boring tools we have used in the construction techniques and construction that existing structures part. Then we have to going to see about the boring tools. In boring tools, that sampling device, these are the cross section of boring tools. So these are the drilling rod. Then this is the tail portion, and drilling rod will be given, and head portion driving point will be given. Then these are the scrapping bucket, the cross section of scrapper bucket will be given. These are the one of the hand tools in the construction techniques. Then we are going to see about the type of samplers. So first we have seen about the spacing of boring and what are the rules under given for spacing of ruling, and what are the spacing for every and each building, that it may be public or private buildings, the spacing of boreholes may be differ. Then we have seen about this soil boring, and what are in soil boring in earliest method and now current method we have seen. In earliest method, what are the hand tools to excavate the pit method we have seen, and in current method, what are the hand tools to excavate the pit we have seen. Then best method we have choose for our undisturbed samples or other than vertical variation, we have considered that samples, undisturbed samples. So then we have seen about that borehole, dia and depth of foundation to excavate the pit by using the hand tools. Then we have some different hand tools for construction techniques. We have seen in this picture that one is post hole auger and second one is helical auger. So in boring tools and that wash boring we have picture is about wash boring and rope and components and we have seen about the components parts of the washing bore. These are one of the hand tools in a construction techniques. Then we have seen about the second boring tools, that hand tools in the construction techniques. That name is scraper bucket. The cross section will be given. The cross section, head portion, tail portions will be given. These are the cross section. It may be that the type of structure is C type. So this one of the hand tools techniques will be used in the to excavate the pit. Excavate the pit in the for location of borehole to find out the depth of foundation. So then we are going to see the different types of samplers. So what are the different type of samplers used in the site investigation for selection of location and depth of foundation? Means first one is split spoon sampler. So what is my split spoon sampler? Means piston sampler. So first one is split spoon sampler, second one is piston sampler, and third one is thin wall and Shelby tube sampler. Thin wall or Shelby tube sampler means, so first in this cross section we are going to see about the thin wall tube and piston sampler. So this is the piston sampler and this is the thin wall tube sampler. So the tube is structure like is a thin wall structure. So in the thin wall the head portions will be always the drill hole and tail portions already because in our tail portions will be the driving point. When the drilling rod is applied, the driving point will be act into the soil with sharply and to excavate the pit into some excavation of depth condition. So next in piston sampler, we have used the vent inside the piston sampler. By using the piston sampler we have to drill the rod to excavate the pit, and same thing by only thing the piston sampler is used in the piston sampler type. So the next one is third one is in thin wall, that in that piston sampler water that is coming in and going in, that is water will be coming inside in this left side, and then again it will sample. By using the sample then it will go in the, that is water into the out. So by using the piston sampler, now inside the vent will be given by pushing that water by drilling rod. By using drilling rod in head portion and tail portions will be used as a driving point. So in that preparation of boring holes, what are the points we have addressed for the preparation of boring holes? First one is name and address of the drilling company. So what are the in drilling company, one of the drilling company name and address will be given for preparation of boring logs. So which drilling company used to excavate that foundation, and then driller's name. So driller's name, these are the boring logs we have before enter into the preparation of boring logs. We have these are the steps we have, procedure we have followed for the preparation of boring logs. So first one is name and address of the drilling company, driller's name and job description and number and type and location of boring, and date of boring is mentioned, and number, what type and location is compulsory, and number of boring is compulsory. We have proceed that number and type and location of boring. Then next one is visual observation of the soil, so brought by the auger or split spoon sampler or thin wall sampler, Shelby tube sampler. What type of sampler we have? used. By using that, visualize that observation of soil for subsoil under stratification. Then we have to elevate the water table level, and date must be observed by using the case and mud losses. So then we have to find out the penetration test, that is standard penetration test, and depth of standard penetration. In that standard penetration test, we have found out the n value. Then we have collected that soil sample, number and type and depth of soil sample collected. So the type of core barrel used. So for each ton, the actual length of coring, the length of coring recovery, and type of core barrels used. So these are the conditions while we are prepare for our bore logs. So then finally that last slide, that soil sampling. In that tube surface soil samples can be obtained during the sampling, disturbed and undisturbed. One is disturbed sample, the another one is undisturbed sample. The most important engineering properties and required for foundation depend upon the strength and compressibility and permeability. So for cohesive soils can be made by laboratory test. So for undisturbed samples which can be obtained with moderate difficulty. So for to find out the good estimate for properties of any soil, so first we have conducted before into the going into the practical field test. Before the test will be conducted in our lab, then the for undisturbed samples, then only that we can obtain some difficulty happen in our lab test. Then it will be very easy in our field test also. So first we have found out the some difficulties, then we have to find out the easier way method. Finally conclude that finally I conclude that what are the topics we have covered means spacing of bore and soil boring, and what are the spacing of soil boring will given, and what are the hand tools in the construction techniques will be used in boring. Then next one is type of samplers. There are three types we have seen about the types of samplers and how to prepare the bore logs in our site. So these are the topics under covering, and also finally we have seen about the soil sampling. These are the topics under covered in our lecture. So thank you for Anandal giving this opportunity. Thank you.